Hi everyone, I'm Alice from Tap with Alice, and in this video, I'd like to share with you a few little techniques that I've found that help me to do tapping more often. So, when people get introduced to tapping and EFT, emotional freedom technique, often they get so excited because it's a really powerful technique that can really help you to shift things in your daily life, to shift uncomfortable feelings and attitudes and behaviors. And often people want to do more of it, and they start out with the best of intentions, and then inevitably they don't do it. And one of the things that people often say is, "Well, I just don't know what to say. I don't know what to say when I'm doing the EFT." And so my first tip is this: just don't use the words. Just use no words tapping, because by doing that, you're balancing your system, your energy system, your body and your brain, and whatever's uppermost in your mind will be the thing that's affected by the tapping. So in EFT, we're using the words to target the calming effect of the tapping to where we want it to go. So if you're thinking of a past event that was traumatic, that's where the tapping will go. If you're thinking of an upcoming difficult thing that's coming up, a phone call that you don't want to do, or a meeting that's going to be stressful, then that is where the tapping can go. Or if you've got a headache or something in your daily life right now, then that is where you can focus the tapping. But if you don't use words and just tap on nothing in particular, you're still getting some benefit because whatever's at the top of your mind, there's always something, isn't there? There's always something at the top of your mind that will be getting a little bit of a calming benefit. And it helps you to feel clearer, more relaxed, and just takes the edge off those daily stresses by doing tapping with no words. So that's my first tip is there's no need to use the words. If you don't know what to tap on, then just use no words tapping. And some of my other videos, you can see how to do that. Just going around the tapping points, maybe 2 or 3 times, is enough to just have a little bit of a boost and to relax your system. However, even that can be a challenge for many of us to find time in the day to remember to even do that. And so here's another tip is that you can tie it to a habit that you already have. So for example, every time I brush my teeth morning and evening, I already have that habit. And I add in 2 rounds of tapping with no words. Just really simple. And then I know that I've done it morning and evening. But you could tie it to any other habit. You could make a little note and stick it to your fridge so that every time you open the fridge, you do a couple of rounds. You could do the same in the toilet. You could tie it to a habit like coming back in from outside when you take your shoes off, just do a couple of rounds of tapping. Anything at all that you would find easy to remember, just tie it to one of those habits. Another tip could be that every time you're watching television, you could just tap. It's not it's certainly not EFT, but it's certainly a tapping technique because when we're watching television, there's still stuff going on in our minds, and there's absolutely no harm in tapping whilst you're watching television. It's not going to probably clear your deepest issues, but it's still going to have that daily stress relief effect. Another thing that some people like to do is to set an alarm on their phone to tap once an hour or 3 times a day or whatever you choose. And every time the alarm goes off, you just stop what you're doing and you tap 2 rounds with no words. And that can be a really effective way. Imagine if you did that, say 5 minutes, 10 times a day. That would be 50 minutes. That's almost a whole hour of tapping and having that calming effect in your energy system and on your brain. And the last tip I have is that if you already work with affirmations, then tap while you're saying them. So I know a lot of people work with affirmations for various reasons, and classic EFT doesn't really use affirmations because we're focusing on the negative stuff. And that really is the way for deep healing, is to work either one-on-one with the support of a practitioner or on your own to go back to your deep core issues and tap with those and get rid of all those negative feelings about those. That's really the way forward. But for many people, they don't have time or that's just not right for them right now. And if you're using a positive affirmation anyway, whether it's about work or about your life, how you want your life path to go, or whether it's to change a habit like exercise or eating habits, then you can use tapping at the same time and it will enhance that. It will gently take away any resistance to that affirmation at a subconscious level. So, these were some of my tips to help you to bring tapping into your daily life. I also have a blog on this topic with some other things on my website, tapwithalice.com. Thank you so much for watching.